Hello, whenever bike manufacturers use confusing names like Giant use the name Content for a whole spectrum of bikes, as do Medida use the Sculptura for both their all-round race and endurance bikes, we feature a video to remove any confusion you as a consumer may have about which bike to buy. To address the same problem of name overuse, we have come back with a video which will take care of all bikes from Scott that use the word addict in their name. Scott actually used the name for three major range of bikes. The Addict Rc, which is their all-round race bike featuring a good dose of aerodynamics, their endurance bike which is just called the Addict, and their gravel race bike, the Addict Gravel. I call it a gravel race bike and not just a gravel bike for reasons I'll state later in this video. I start off with the frames then. The Addict Rc uses Scott's upper high-end HMX grade of carbon as well as the ultra high-end HMX SL grade of carbon in the flagship Addict Rc Ultimate. The Addict uses Scott's entry-level HMF grade carbon in all its variants. The Addict Gravel uses Scott's entry-level HMF grade carbon again for all but the flagship variant which uses the HMX grade carbon. The Addict Rc and Addict Gravel accommodate aero D-shaped carbon seat posts in their frames, while the Addict comes with a traditional round 27.2mm standard seat post. While the carbon grade used in the Addict and Addict Gravel, that is the HMF, are more or less in line with competitors, the HMX grade carbon in the Addict Rc, especially with the cheaper variants, ensure its frame material is usually quite a bit better than its competitors. Tire clearance for the Addict Rc is 30C, for the Addict is 35C, and for the Addict Gravel it's 45C. Let's delve into the geometry of the bikes then. We are comparing the bikes in a size medium or 54. Surprisingly, the reach of the bikes are very similar in all the three bikes, and you don't have a shorter reach with the Addict or Addict Gravel versus the Addict Rc as you might have thought. The stack difference is worthy of mention though, and it's surprising that the Addict Gravel is actually lower than the Addict, which is why we initially called it a gravel race bike, because it's quite lower at the front as well as longer than a traditional gravel bike. The wheelbase difference contributes to changing the handling characteristics of the bike depending on the surface. Now to further delve into minute differences, I would like to choose like for like spec bikes from the three bike ranges. So we will compare the Addict Rc 40, Addict 20 and Addict Gravel 30 bikes. The Addict Rc and Addict are based mainly around the Shimano Ultegra group set, while the Addict Gravel is based around the Shimano RX 810-600 mix group set. Cranks on the Addict Rc are race focused 50-36 ones, while the Addict uses 50-34 cranks. The crank on the Gravel is a suitable smaller 46-31. It is the same story with the cassette, with the Addict Rc choosing a closely packed 11-speed 1130 cassette, the Addict choosing a 1132 and the Addict Gravel choosing a 1134 cassette. Coming to the stock tires, the Addict Rc comes with a Schwalbe 1 Race Guard Fold 28C tires, the Addict with 32C Schwalbe 1 race tires, and the Gravel with very chunky Schwalbe G1 Byte 45C tires. We do wonder if the 45C tires are a bit of an overkill, especially on a race oriented gravel bike. Let's move on to the wheels then. Wheels in all three are from Scott's in-house brand Syncross RP 2.0. It is worth mentioning that in the higher iterations of these bikes, you get wheels that are more dedicated to the surface you are riding on, with the wheels of the Addict Rc especially featuring mid-depth wheels, as well as the gravel versions coming equipped straight with wheels intended to ride gravel in the first place. We have gone through the relevant differences between the three bike ranges. Figures here are for the three bikes we have chosen in particular. To summarize, this Addict Rc is Scott's all-round race bike which can do quite a good job at both climbing as well as flat stages. The Addict is a traditional simple endurance bike from Scott. And finally, the Addict Gravel is a race-focused gravel bike from Scott. There are buyers who expect their gravel bike to be tall and leisurely, and this is not one of them. However, if you want to race on gravel, it's one to seriously consider. To check alternatives to these bike ranges, I will link a bike range video above. I hope you now know which Addict range is right for you. Do hit the like button if this video cleared any confusion, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.